Hey, how's it going, folks? So, you know what? Many have asked actually what I meant about the dark ages of Proton. Well, there was a time when Proton was coming out with stuff. I wouldn't even call them cars. And I have to say, this is actually one of them. Have you ever had a car that really made you angry? Well, this one actually made me angry the first time I saw it when it was new. So this is a Proton Saga LMST, if I'm not mistaken. And it is absolutely horrible. Horrible what they've done with this car. This is so obviously a car that has been put together by the lowest bidder in terms of components and cabin material. It is obviously a car that has been slapped together by some people who have absolutely zero idea of what a car should be. Let's not even talk about car enthusiasts. Let's just talk about the car itself. I mean, it is shiversomely bad the way all this is done. It is so plasticky. It is so horrible to the touch. And then you've got this instrument cluster that looks like it came off a motorcycle. I've seen motorcycles with better instrumentation. Let me just show you what I mean, yeah? So you're sitting back here. This is how far you'll be sitting. This is your view of the instruments, yeah? And as you're driving, let me just turn it on. Sorry, I don't know why the wipers came on. Look at that. Okay, look at that. Look at those. That's your fuel gauge. That's your fuel gauge. And it's only like tiny little bars. That's your temperature gauge. You can hardly see it. I mean, yeah, let me just block out the glare a little bit. You can hardly even see it. So, you know, those little things there, it doesn't even belong on a motorcycle. That's how bad it is. And then these door cards. They're supposed to be cards, right? They are hard plastic. These binnacles for the air conditioning, yeah, vertical, yeah, looked good on paper, but the execution is absolutely horrible. It feels so cheap. You want to know the best thing about this car? I'll tell you the best thing about this car. The best thing about this car is what's under the skin. This is, I'm sorry to put it this way, but this is like the Stephen Hawking of cars, okay? Outside is terrible, it looks horrible, but inside is brilliant. Just like Stephen Hawking, he was a freaking genius. Unfortunately, with cerebral palsy. This car has cerebral palsy. I'm sorry to use that analogy, but it's true. The best thing about this car is this lovely gearbox. Wonderful 5-speed manual. So smooth the way it goes into gear. The powertrain is good because, of course, it came from another car maker. Everything else, okay, maybe this material is passable, but you know, it's thin and it's already ripping on the side here. So this is what I mean about just making a car for the sake of making a car. And you know what? They're not giving these cars away for free, yeah? Far from it. People were paying good money, hard-earned money to buy this monstrosity, this absolute monstrosity. I cannot tell you how bad I feel for people who have bought this car. And you know what? I know somebody who actually bought this car. Yes, personally bought this car. And when he found out, or later on, look at this rubbish. Look at this rubbish. I can't even get it to stay in place so that I can have a proper view of the back. So my friend bought this car new. And when he found out later, after about 24 hours, how horrible it was, he wanted to sell it after about 6 months. Yeah, he wanted to sell it after about 6 months. He could not sell it because he had to pay money to the bank in order to get rid of it. Yes, the market value was actually less than his outstanding loan value. That's how bad it is. This is a horribly put together car. And whoever put this car together, whoever spec'd out this car, shame on you. Shame on you for giving Malaysians this kind of rubbish. Absolute rubbish. So this car came from the dark days of Proton. Really, it does not deserve this logo. I can honestly say it does not deserve this logo. Based on the cars that Proton are coming up with now, this car does not deserve this logo. You should cover it with, I don't know. I can't even think of another car maker that you can cover this logo with. Maybe Trabant. How about that? Trabant. Absolute crap. This is a car that made me very angry, and it still makes me angry because it was passed off as a new car for people to buy, not to be given out free, yeah? Yeah, Proton's not a charity. They were selling this shite to people, and people bought them And these cars have not fared very well over the years. They have not fared very well over the years. It almost makes me choked up to... okay, that's not original. That was done later because now it's completely blocking this cubby hole here. But it's all plastic. One piece. How cheaply can you make a car? This is a prime example of how cheaply you can make a car. But it's a Proton. The aircon is fantastic. And the powertrain is good because it's not Proton's powertrain. Yeah, you know who it came from. I don't need to say it. But this, I'm sure the design looked good on paper, but the execution, whoever executed this should be executed. Really, that's the best way I can put it. This is absolute crap. Crap. And look at this. This is for the power windows. Just there, like that. I mean, no thought given at all to making this car. Rubbish. Okay, so I've pulled over and I just want to give you a very quick look at the outside of this car. And yeah, then you know what? Then it's over because this is the days of Proton that I wish everybody to forget. I'm trying to forget about it myself. I mean, come on. How, oh my goodness. Even my Sentra sounds better than this. This is terrible. And you know what? It's no fault of whoever bought this car. I'm not blaming anybody who bought this car, okay? Because it was cheap, yes. It was designated as a cheap runabout. But for the love of God, did they have to make it so damn cheaply made? It's just shiversomely bad. It's one of those most horrible Protons ever made. This one's got a little bit of embellishments with the side skirts. Or was that original? Somebody please tell me. Because this bloody thing back here that's supposed to be a hatch spoiler, it's just crap. Absolute crap. You know, and I'm sorry, I'm very sorry to whoever who has bought this car. And you have my condolences, but the paint hasn't survived. And it's just so badly put together. It is so cheaply made, you know. I mean, just remember the Saga. Saga had glass lights. These are plastic, which is all faded. It had a bussy bumper, a metal bumper. This is God knows what, and it's just falling off. It's so cheaply made. It would cost 50 cents in Langkawi, I swear. It's just so horrible. And you know what? No offense to anybody of you who have bought this car, who still own this car. The powertrain is still very good. Let me show it to you in just a sec, because that's the only saving grace of this car. It's a smooth engine. Well, there you go. The Magma 12 valve. The 4G13P engine. One of the best engines ever put in any car. Any budget car. So that's its only saving grace. The engine, the gearbox, and the aircon. Keep it maintained properly. You know, upkeep it, preventive maintenance, and it will just run. It will run for as long as you want it to run. But the rest of it is just gonna fall apart. And this is one car I would not save, because honestly, if you ask me, it's not worth saving. There is nothing redeeming about this car. There's no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's just a horribly put together car. It's a piece of shit if there ever was one. I'm sorry. And I'm very angry for Proton for producing this car and selling it to the masses. Because it's absolute crap. Except for this engine. It's a very nice engine. It's still a very nice engine. This guy's got almost 300,000 kilometers on it. And the engine is still so damn smooth. So yeah. Everything that was done by Proton for this car is shite. Except for the powertrain. So anyway, thank you for watching. You wanted to know which car pissed me off the most? This is one of them right here. So in closing, I just want to say again, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't mean any offense to anybody who owns this car. If you've been taking care of it, it's a lovely car to drive. The engine is still wonderful. The engine, gearbox, powertrain is still wonderful. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm very angry with Proton for coming out with this. But that's in the past. Proton has got a bright new future now with Geely, and the cars they're producing currently are very, very nice. I mean, the X50 is just brilliant. But there was a time when they came up with absolute crap, and this is one fine example of that. So, you know, they always say to change someone's mind is easy, but to change a mindset is very difficult. This is a mindset right here. People remember the shit that was coming out from Proton a long time ago. About 10 years, 15 years ago. Yeah, there was some absolute monsters, shiversome monsters coming out from that factory, and many people will not forgive Proton for that. It took me a long time to forgive Proton for that, but I've forgiven them because now, in earnest, they look like they're producing some very nice cars. So let's hope that continues, yeah? Anyway, yeah, let's try and forget this pile of dog doo. Okay, take care, you all. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the rant. Bye.